there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. We're at this week's episode of the Rogue's Alley. Again, I'm going to go back to an old archetype because it has been updated since the last time I played this years ago for Gathering Magic, which is a Restore Balance brew. With the new upgrade, Nahiri is just really good, just the Nahiri Emrakul combo. And so I just thought I'd show something interesting before Kaladesh cards are still not legal on MTG. Next week we'll have some Kaladesh brews in Standard or Modern. And then we can start messing around with some cool combo decks I've come up with, and as well as some nice synergistic decks in those formats. But until then, I'm just going to go back to a nice little Restore Balance brew. The old brew used to rely on Huntmaster of the Fells to come out after you've restored balance just to take over, or just like the Greater Gargadon. And it just was more of a value-based deck with Eternal Witnesses, Huntmasters, Kitchen Finks, and then just trying to play the beatdown route after Restore Balance. This version is really going to Restore Balance, wipe the board, and then hopefully have a Nahiri established. And then your opponent will be so far behind they can't take care of Nahiri, and ultimately Nahiri will just get Emrakul and win the game. So that's the gist for this one, not too much to explain. How Restore Balance works is you run border posts, and I'm going to run all of them in this version, every single one of them. That means that we want to have 12 lands in our opening hand, to kind of guarantee the land, and then we start bouncing the land, the basic land, for a specific border post. Hopefully find the right mana we need to then be able to cast a cascading card, Ardent Plea or Violent Outburst. I like both of these because they don't require a target to cast. The Violent Outburst is a lot more powerful because it is instant speed, so you can do it on your opponent's turn and really punish them. Rather than having to do it on your main, like the Ardent Plea or the Demonic Dread requires. And then it goes and gets Restore Balance, and Restore Balance says each player chooses a number of lands he or she controls equal to the number of the lands controlled by the player with the least, and sacrifices the rest. Players sacrifice creatures and discard cards in the same way. So Restore Balance is going to even the playing field, except you don't have anything on the playing field. So that's why we run the Border Post, because they're artifacts, and Restore Balance does not hit artifacts. So that we'll have, after Restore Balance, most likely we'll have 3 border posts out, and our opponent will have 0 lands. And so we'll be ahead in the land count. It also will kill all their creatures because they won't have any creatures. And then the following turn, hopefully we drop a land, another border post, and then get Nahiri out off of like even a Simian Spirit Guide to cheat it out. The Greater Gargadon can sacrifice any other lands or creatures we may have on board, just to make the field even. That way we can drop another land drop if we happen to have to, if we run out of like border posts, and then just eat them with the Greater Gargadons, and then get down to the 0 land count for the Restore Balance to hit to clear the board. Eventually Greater Gargadon's going to unsuspend and hit for 9. That's just a quick clock, especially if our opponent has shocked themselves. It is a 2-turn clock. There are a number of sideboards you can run even in the main board. People can go a heavier Blood Moon route. I'm just going to run 1 of and 2 Beast Withins. I still like Beast Within in this deck because it's really the answer for everything. A lot of times your opponent might have some sort of hate card that you need to get rid of that doesn't allow you to either cast Restore Balance or just is very problematic, and Beast Within just leaves back a 3/3 beast creature that is just going to die from the Restore Balance. So I have 2 more of those in the sideboard. Leyline of Sanctity is in the sideboard to protect our hand against disruption. Disruption is huge. First turn Thoughtseize, Inquisitions, things like that. You can't let them use like even cards like Slaughter Games or anything that can rip out your Restore Balance. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard for this deck to achieve its goals. We have Kitchen Finks to really stabilize versus the aggro. I like Kitchen Finks to Restore Balance because it does have the Persist, so it will come back, and you'll at least have another blocker after that. Same reason why I'm bringing Firespout over Anger. Some people are like, well, your opponent has Kitchen Finks, so Anger might be better. Firespout, I think, is just a little bit advantageous because usually when I'm bringing in Kitchen Finks, I'm also bringing in the Firespouts. You don't want to anger off your own Kitchen Finks. That might not be an issue. It's a lot easier though to cast Firespout. A lot of times we won't have the double red. I found that an issue with Anger of Gods, and a 2/1 Kitchen Finks coming back is not nearly as powerful as a 3/1. It makes it attack into like the Nahiri or the Ajani a lot less. Like it's not lethal on either one of those. I guess the 3/2 wouldn't be either, but it's just a 2/1's a lot easier to deal with in this. So you can even Beast Within like a Kitchen Finks earlier on, and then go for Restore Balance if you're worried about that, and then it will go away. But usually Firespout will kill the original Kitchen Finks, and the Restore Balance will take care of anything that comes back off of it. So we'll try Firespout over it. We have 2 more Blood Moons against decks that are vulnerable against Blood Moon. We also have a Leyline of the Void just against those pesky graveyard-based decks. A lot of other decks run higher counts of these. I've seen Ghostly Prison and Lingering Souls in builds before. There's a lot of versatile sideboard cards that are good in it. So again, just the gist is trying to establish a Planeswalker. Ajani is also, I would say, on power level with the Nahiri. The 3 damage can also kill the Beast Within. Then you can tap down a land, or keep a land tapped down for the remainder of the game after Restore Balance is hit. And usually you're going to be casting another Restore Balance. It usually takes like 2 to win. But we do have 8 ways to find the Restore Balances. We have Blood Moons later on to lock out. Just very versatile deck, very, very good deck to hate out particular strategies. So we'll queue this up and see how well it goes. It's been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.